Hi everybody out there in computer land. My name is Ken and I'm going to be showing you how to make onion bread from scratch. It's been highly recommended from many friends and family. They find it to be very delicious and we think so too. But I've given them the recipe for them to follow and they've tried it and with little success. So I'm going to do this video just for them, for you who's going to watch it today. So to start off, I'm going to show you the amount of onions I do, and the recipe would be half of this, so I'm doing the full recipe of 2 orders, so stay tuned. Okay, as you can see, these are the onions. They're sweet. The sweeter the better, I think. I've tried some different kinds, some Spanish onions and whatnot, and it didn't make a good onion bread, so make sure you get these good plump juicy sweet onions. The Vidalia onions are the ones that I use, and this is the bowl that I use. I kind of use that as my judge, to say, almost like a measuring cup. I kind of fill that up with the onions. That tells me how many I need. So alright, I'm gonna peel them and cut them and chop them up and get them ready, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I just wanted to go through cutting up one more onion to show you how I cut them up. Just kind of quarter them, just in some little triangular pieces, as you can see. Oops. So this would be the container that I use to kind of top off, to show how many onions are all cubed up. And from this step here, I'm going to put them in a food processor, and then when I get to that point, then I'll come back and show you. Okay, we're back. I have a 9-cup food processor, and I probably just put about half of the onions in there, and you don't want to over mince them, so I'll do it and kind of give you a visual of what it looks like, so hold on to the noise. Okay, I'm back. I got through doing all the onions. I don't know if you can see that. This is probably the consistency of all the onions minced up. What I'm going to do is I took a pretty decent sized bell pepper and it chopped up, minced it up to about a cup. This is my little additive that I put into my onion bread. Makes it delicious. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to what do they call it, really mince up sunflower seeds. This particular recipe calls for 3/4 of a cup, so I'll do a cup and a half because I'm doubling the order. And I'm also going to do the same thing with the flax seed. Once you mince that up, it releases the fluids that are within the seeds, and once you mix it in with the onions and everything else, it becomes more pliable, makes it more like pasty. So I'm going to go ahead and do this, and then I'll be back to show you when I'm mixing it together. Alrighty? Oh, and also, when I put all this stuff together, I'm going to put in, what is it, 2/3 cups of olive oil, and also 2/3 cups of shoyu. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but this is what I use. I have not tried any of the other type soy products or anything, but this seems to work really great. So it's a little pricey, but the onion bread comes out really nice. So stay tuned. Okay, I'm back. I'm gonna mince up the last bit of the flaxseed in the magic bullet, so close your ears. Okay, you're probably wondering why I'm shaking this thing like a madman, but what happens is I have to do this in parts, probably like 2 parts, like 3/4 of a cup each time, both for the flaxseed and also the sunflower seed. And I try to get it almost to a powder consistency. And what happens is if you just let it sit there, it will just overheat and cause clumps around the blade, so you have to shake it to try and get it to mix up. But anyways, this is the last part, so I'll sprinkle that in there as well. And I'll come back and put in the shoyu, however that's pronounced. My apologies to whoever the name givers of this product is. So we're looking at 2/3. There goes 2/3 of the shoyu. My wife gets a kick out of every time I say that. And then we're going to do the same thing, 2/3 of olive oil. Extra virgin if you don't mind, please. Alright. So now all the ingredients are within inside here. The onions and everything. So you have approximately like 12 onions, sweet onions. You have 1 bell pepper, about a cupful. You have shoyu. This particular batch I have 2/3 of olive oil, and a cup and a half of flaxseed, minced up really good, and a cup and a half of sunflower seeds. That's all the ingredients in here. So what I do is I just mix it all up with my hands or a big spoon or something, get it all blended in together. You'll find that the flaxseed and the shoyu will really just come together when you're mixing this. So I'll come back when I get ready to put it on the dehydrator sheets. So stay tuned. Okay, this is kind of what it looks like all put together. There's a lot more. Sorry, you got the big bowl. But I take and I flatten out the bowl, and I take probably a little less than 1/3, and I put it in the blender. I blend this up really, really good to kind of give me a little liquid, to make it liquefy a little bit, because this is pretty stiff. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then I'll mix it all back together, and then we'll get to the be back. This is the Teflon sheets, and this is the mesh screen that once I cook it for about around 6 hours, then I flip it onto the screen, taking it off the Mylar. So then the final cooking would just be on the screen here. So I'd like to show you the finished product as far as in its sauce form. It's kind of pasty, I guess. Slop. But anyhow, what I do is I take one of these spoons, just like a big old soup spoon, and I do probably 4 of these to my square. This is probably a 14 by 14 inch square, and then I have one of these. I think they use these in stir fry and stuff like that. It's flexible. You'll see how I do that. So I put one on each corner almost. Good little portion. I don't know that you can see this. You can see it. Okay, hopefully we won't get it to fall down. Anyways, so I take it and I spread it out evenly. And you don't want any air pockets or any holes in the sauce. I may have a little bit too much on here. So we can take some off. You don't want to put it too thin or too thick. And each batch you want to kind of have about the same amount so they cook evenly. And when I put it on the dehydrator, or in the dehydrator, I put it on for, I put the heat on for about 105 to 107 for approximately maybe 14 hours. All depend on the dehydrator you have. I have the Excalibur, if you want to know what model I have. I don't have it in the house. If you're going to do this, you may want to have a garage or an exterior room where you can do this, because I tell you, the aroma is, even though it smells really good, coming about midnight at 1 in the morning, it can wake you up. Yeah, a little bit too much on here. And I try to lay it out as flat as I can, because the way you can make it, you can cook it longer to try and make chips so that you can put some spread on it of your liking. But I like to make them where they're a little bit pliable, so that you can make wraps with them. Put some sprouted, like, I don't know, whatever sprouts you like. Put that on there with some tomatoes, some cheese, like a rice cheese, non-dairy cheese. And I like to kind of square up the edges so that it comes out nice and square when it's all said and done, so when I cut them. So on this particular sheet, I can probably get 4 wraps out of just one of these sheets. And then this batch will probably make probably 9 sheets, if I'm lucky, if I don't put it too thick. And the thicker it is, the longer it takes to cook. So you got to remember, we're doing this at 105 to 107, so we're not killing the enzymes in there. The enzymes are still living, so this is all living food when all said and done. Very yummy, very nutritious for you. In the flaxseed, you have your omega-3s and 6s, and in the onions, you have a lot of antioxidants in them when they're in their living form. I don't know all the nutritional values of everything, but anyways, this is one of them. I got 8 more to go. I'll put that into the dehydrator and get them going tonight. So that concludes my my recipe for the onion bread, and I hope it works out for you.